everybody. Welcome to this week's Premier Racing League Week in Review, reviewing Atlanta. I am the driver number 3, Cameron Arndt.
And driver the number 29, James Jackson.
Atlanta this week, throwback weekend. Nice to see everybody with the throwback schemes. It was a pretty fun race until I again it went a lap down, but I was having fun for the most part.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I was really impressed with our ability to run green as much and as long as we did. I definitely expected a little more of a mess and some crashes like off of two on cold tires especially. And I know we saw some people miss pit road. Sometimes that'll trigger a wreck, and I don't think it. Well, it did cause one, but I would have thought it would cause more, especially if we were going to go green. But yeah, I was really impressed with the field to be able to run. We had two cautions, and one of them was lap 8. So everybody did a
Yeah,
great job.
yeah, it was pretty clean for the most part. I didn't really notice anything too crazy going on, at least in my vicinity. Close racing, but good racing.
Yeah, no, like we talked about with Auto Club and with Phoenix, I didn't really see anybody driving away. I know that some of the packs got separated, like you'd have the top five and then a little gap to sixth through ninth or whatever, and then a little gap. But like, I think it was the very end of the run before there was any like real separation between first and second and third. I know
Mhm.
for myself, I chewed up the right front quite a bit on some of the runs, and so I would fade off towards the tail end of a run. But I was impressed. The car was really racy, the track was racy, and everyone did a great job.
Yeah, I think it was enough that you could manipulate your when you pit to where the every time everybody was pitting pretty much exactly where they needed to for themselves. So every time we came back out of the pit cycle, we were all back bunched up together, even when we were making green flag pit stops. I mean, I was able to make up. Really chewed up mine that first run as well, and I went from 10, 15 seconds back to I was right back in the top five, just from pitting a little bit early. Granted, it hurt me down the end of that second run, as we'll find out. But definitely, I wasn't expecting the ability to really be able to put yourself right back into the battle. Um, at least for it to be as drastic. Like I wasn't expecting to come back out in the top five. I was expecting to be maybe eighth, ninth. But I came back out running fourth or fifth, I think. I think I got passed by Dakota pretty quick, but other than that, I was right up there.
Yeah, I know the second run we start green flag pit stops and then we get the yellow. That would have been interesting because at that point, like the first cycle, I think I was like a second, maybe pushing 2 seconds behind Dakota when I pitted. And then that second cycle, I was like 3 or 4 seconds. So it would have been interesting to see how that would have played out differently.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, I cycled back to the lead after my pit stop, held it for a few laps till Dakota came in with however many lap fresher tires than me and passed me back. So um, obviously, it wouldn't have been as much of an advantage the second run, but I would have been interested to see how that played out without the yellow. That trapped a lot of guys a lap down and
Hmm.
really altered
Yeah.
maybe not the end of the race, but like some finishes for some people.
Yeah, it definitely really shook up the running order, at least from what I could tell. The running order, um, I think about half of the top five ended up, like maybe three out of the five ended up staying up there. I think you, Dakota, and I know Steven was up there a lot. I know Griffin got trapped a couple laps down in that wreck. Um, but I think that it really messed up the running order with that, just in terms of who ended up being on the lead lap there, and um, we'll go over exactly what happened for at least some of the drivers there that may have either helped them or screwed them and all the stuff like that. But
Yeah,
definitely a really interesting race.
to your point, I restarted that restart fourth, and I was ninth in line because I was a wave around. So that tells you how
Yeah.
many people were trapped a lap down.
Hmm. Yep. It was, I think we ended up, what was it, 6 cars, 5 cars, I think, actually
I,
finished on the lead lap?
I,
Because I think I
I,
finished 6 and I was a lap down.
it would have been 6, but I think Stephen Parker got a meatball and a black flag. He was running
Yeah, it was a
fourth or fifth,
meatball or something.
and then
Yeah.
had to pit and lost his lead lap finish. So,
Yeah.
but I think we've covered everything pretty well. We can get into it if you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready when you are.
There it is. Alrighty. Dakota on the pole. Not there.
Sure.
EOL for
Oh,
the
yeah, you're
second
right.
time. Him and Kyle
I don't think
Kendall.
he actually got the pole. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Let me
you know what?
double
No,
check
you're
that because I
right.
don't think he actually got the pole.
Griffin did get the pole. It was
Uh,
Dakota was fifth, I think, third or fifth, because I moved up a row.
third, third. Yep.
Okay. So
He
me and
was third. First was Griffin.
yeah,
Then I was second. Then Dakota. Then who was fourth? Brandon was fourth, and then rounding out the top 5 was Brody.
yeah. Sorry, Griffin. I wasn't trying to steal your pole there. Just force of habit to award it to Dakota.
I don't know. I think he's got a couple poles this season, but I think that he's definitely. I think he's only got like 1 or 2, maybe. Granted, we're 4 races in, but I think that it's pretty spread out in terms of who's got poles this season. Yeah, he's only got 1 pole.
Yeah, it
We've
was.
had a different driver on the pole every week, so
Yeah,
definitely plenty of drivers that really found their footing with this car.
and we had some solid pole switch ups last season even too. I think most people had 2 poles, but nothing crazy. I guess Dakota did have 4 or 5 at the end of it, but
Yeah.
either way, yeah. So Griffin won the pole. I just knew I moved up a row when Dakota took his EOL.
Yeah, Marcelo Ellsberg, uh, Kyle Kendall, and Dakota for being top 2 in the standings going into this race. Very colorful mix of paint schemes.
Yeah, we'll try and highlight some as we go here. Just starting off with the pole sitter. That's a '08 Jamie McMurray throwback for Griffin.
Really like that paint scheme. It's one of my favorites. Um, over the years.
And Brody with the Denny Hamlin throwback that he ran a few years ago. I like that one too. The FedEx throwback. Ooh, big save. I forgot about that already.
Yeah. Ended up falling back and having to work from behind there in the first run here.
But yeah, just
It was
touched.
actually a decent gap.
Oof,
I
right
wonder
in
if
front of
something
me.
happened in 1 and 2. Yeah. Wonder if something happened in 1 and 2 because looks like we already got a gap around 10th to 15th.
Yeah, something did happen. Oh, that's the wrong button. Uh, what? Yeah. I don't know. Yep, my dad hit the apron too and pushed up.
Yeah. Looks like Steven just clipped the wall a little bit, slowed everybody down. And we were not done with the fireworks to start off the first lap.
You expect that though, cold tires on a rough surface. So
Everybody's trying to get what they can get as well. Just a little bit of getting tight and with Jim, and then trying to get a little bit too much clipping the apron with Brody.
yeah. You want to talk about your throwback?
Yeah, so this is throwback to, as we said last week, it was throwback to the 1997 Subaru Impreza WRC car. Um, WRC World Rally Championship car. Uh, it's a little bit darker of a blue than what they actually ran during that race, but uh, I did that so it matched my own car that I bought a couple months ago. now, but really wanted to do this scheme. Was thinking about making it my primary for this season, but figured it would be better just for a throwback with how wild it is compared to a normal NASCAR paint scheme.
I think it turned out really good. Like you can tell
Yeah, I
exactly
wasn't
what you're going
expecting it.
for it.
Yeah, I was expecting it to at least look like the car, but it really did come out and look really well, really good. And I mean, I think I'm really happy with how it turned out.
And I mentioned it before. I like how the number bib is like low on it. It looks like the rally car. It fits. It shouldn't fit because it's weird for a stock car, but like I know what you're going for, and it looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you're never going to mistake that car for a rally car, but especially a 1997 rally car. But I think that at least you know exactly what you're looking at with it.
Yeah. And then mine, 2000 era Bobby Labonte championship season paint scheme. Um,
I actually got the die cast for that car right over there. I actually just brought that out of my closet last week.
nice, nice,
One of my favorite paint schemes.
iconic. The bright green. You knew exactly where he was every week,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then
And all of those paint schemes, just the was it interstate batteries, I think it was.
yeah.
Um, all of those paint schemes, even up to the modern era, are some of the best paint schemes.
Miguel, I believe it's Kyle Busch throwback, the double mint Toyota. Similar
Looks like
like
it's a really cool one too.
similar to like what he ran at Darlington last season and the Transformers M&M's paint scheme. No throwback from Brandon.
Yeah, I didn't get time to make one for him.
Uh, Jimmy Johnson throwback for Devon, though might be different from what others saw because I think my dad called out a cobalt scheme. Oh, now we've got our wreck behind us here. First caution of the race.
Kyle Kimmel getting caught with that end of line penalty for being top two in the points, getting unlucky, getting collected into this one.
Yeah, unfortunate. DJ just pushing tight a little bit in the center.
Just doesn't expect Kyle to be able to get there, I think. And
Yeah.
by the time he's there and knows it, they're on a collision course.
Yeah, nothing you can do there. And then while we look at this yellow, we can go back. Um, we'll show you the what took Jim out of the race.
Ooh, lots of damage.
Yeah. He actually is kind of following in the wake of our newest racer, Kyle Jackson, the 49, up ahead of him. He tags the wall on exit. Jim tags the wall and gets DJ
Uh,
on the way back through. We can get to a.
yeah, that's one that I didn't quite notice. Might have warranted a caution a little bit earlier with that.
It's hard, man, because he never spun. He's towards the back of the pack, so there's not imminent danger. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, rip
And
the
I mean that.
and of course, like I asked
You know,
when he said he was wrecking, I asked if he needed a yellow, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna get it. I didn't know he couldn't drive the
I
car.
didn't know it was that bad. I think Dakota has mentioned something about Jim wrecking, and I asked the same thing to him, but he didn't quite notice how bad it was either.
Yeah, I mean that wheel's not moving in his Rusty Wallace midnight throwback. But the problem for Jim is he had turned his fast repair off when he gridded, and in
Ooh,
an attempt to not burn it like you did at Daytona. And he did not turn it back on.
that's tough. Yeah, that's happened to me. I believe during the holiday dash that happened to me, and I was stuck sitting on pit road for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I think that was Daytona.
yeah. The bad news for Jim is that suspension damage takes 40 minutes to repair. So he sat there for
Damn.
40 minutes. 41 minutes of required. Lost 71 laps.
It's just a killer.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. I don't think we had any takers, especially not up front on the pit.
Yeah, we debated. The underdog racing cars debated going, but decided not to. Didn't think that we were far enough in the run to need new tires, and didn't really feel like just coming down for fuel, and wanted to keep the um track position.
Yeah, that's where we were at with it too. I didn't feel like we had pressed too hard. It's only 8 laps. Had it been another 8 laps and been like 15, I think we would have. That would have been a real consideration. But um, and I stand corrected. Brandon said his was a throwback to last week's paint scheme. So there you have it.
It's another iconic paint scheme from last week. I mean, just
Yeah,
really recognizable. When you see that scheme, you think Brandon Hare.
which is good because that's who it is. So that is what you want in a paint scheme. We'll show the restart here, then we'll show a couple more paint schemes and jump to green flag pit stops.
You want to actually rewind it here to the restart. So right here, I see you trying to time it, and I purposely waited.
I knew you were gonna wait, um, and I did.
As soon as you launched,
I timed it really well where I thought you were gonna go. Because like, look how close you are to the end of the box.
I know.
Like,
I was waiting until you had to break.
I didn't break, but I did come all the way out of the throttle. And Griffin's like, "Wow, great jump, James." I'm like, "It was too good. It was too good."
Yeah, you gave it away a little bit too early because I knew immediately upon entering the box what you were trying to do. And so I was like, okay, cool. I'll just sit here until he gets to me and then go.
Yeah, I was just trying to get. I got what I wanted out of it. I wanted to clear Griffin and get to work on you. I didn't think I was going third to
Team
first on the
loyalty
start.
here.
I brought him with me, but I definitely wanted to take control.
At this point, I'm just trying to. I'm lifting early, trying to save the tires, but at the same time, I pushed it a little bit more than I wanted to, just trying to make you scrub your tires and not trying to see if maybe I can keep you from getting any bonus points for leading laps. But you're just too fast for me to want to keep the pace up at a certain point.
Yeah, I was definitely looking to get my 3 lap sled and go from there. And then when I take the lead, nobody comes and takes it back. So I just kind of roll around.
Yeah. Which is the same reason I was doing. It's the only reason I went to go past Griffin is because I knew if I wanted it, I had to do it early in the race because who knows what happens later. So I knew I could push it and at least lead a couple laps, let a little bit more than I initially thought I was going to, but wanted those points.
Now, if only that was
Granted, I
lap
got helped out
130.
by that caution.
If only that was lap 130 right there, because that would have been a heck of a finish between the two of us.
Yeah, I wish it was lap 132 because that'd be another 5 positions better than what I've actually finished. And Dakota would have been in the back of the pack, so.
Back of the pack is 8th right now, I do believe.
Okay, well, that's still 15 less points than he scored.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's keep working paint schemes here. Miguel on the wall. Okay, so Steven has changed his paint scheme. It was a old school Hooters scheme. as evidenced by the yellow and orange numbers.
Yeah, it was a really cool scheme. I liked seeing it.
But yeah, it was I don't know if it was a like one of Chase Elliott's throwbacks to an older Hooters or just an older Hooters. Or I don't know, but no throwback for Jared, just kitties and beer. And as we covered last week on the show, Dakota with the Casey Kane 2007 scheme, I think we said, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He did a good job with that. You know exactly what it is,
Yep.
especially once you got the numbers, the right color and stuff.
Yeah, Photoshop has been being weird for me the past couple weeks, so it was hard to get the numbers changed or the number like with the right colors, and even then, it's still not 100%, but it's close enough that you know what you're looking at, especially from a distance like we're at right now.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely looks a little bit different. You might not exactly be able to tell immediately with the because we've changed the stripe from black to green to match the O'Reilly colors, but still pretty recognizable if you just look at the number.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yes, as we mentioned, Brandon throwback to his Phoenix car.
Just beautiful paint scheme.
Miguel back in the wall, hard in the wall.
Yeah, Miguel had a tough go on the first parts of this race.
No throwback for Ed Smith. We touched on Brody's throwback. Not really a throwback for Hunter because that's just the paint scheme he's run every week. But it is
Still technically a throwback, just not specific for this race.
yeah.
But still a really cool
Ooh,
paint scheme.
Richard in the wall there back there. Jeff Carl, this is what he switched to after Daytona. So, again, technically a throwback to, I believe, Elliott Sadler, Star
Yeah, I
Wars
believe so.
M&Ms, but not really what he's a throwback he's running for Jim. Where are we going here? Going the wrong way because he's lost. Yeah, so there's Devin. We talked about the lows. Like I said, I think my dad called out a Cobalt, and I kind of thought I saw it on your stream that it was a white, like the Jimmy Johnson white Cobalt scheme.
I think so. Well, it was definitely a Jimmy Johnson scheme, but I don't think it was that one in particular.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
This is what it was on my stream, so or like when I was live. So I don't know if what was up with the trading page. I know some people said they had issues with it all night long. So, but judging by the white rims, makes me think it was not this paint scheme. So sorry, Devin, if this is not what you ran. And as we mentioned, new guy Kyle Jackson, the Greg Biffle throwback, 3M.
Surprised we only had one Greg Biffle throwback. I figured we'd get a couple more people on the throwback to him, given recent events. Rest in peace. But yeah, really cool paint scheme.
And then this might be the winner, honestly. This is Chris Ellis's throwback to the All Star T Rex Jeff Gordon paint scheme. But
Really cool.
it's his kitty for kitties and beer on the hood instead of a T
Yeah,
Rex. So uh, he took a swing, and I think it paid off. I think that's an awesome paint scheme.
really is. I think it's really cool. Take an old scheme like that, put your own spin on it, and make it unique. I think it's really cool.
All right,
All right, if
Kyle,
anybody, oh, yep.
go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to say anything about the way that I set up these races, at least uh, NASCAR just made has to have everybody come down pit road for more fuel. So that's not just me.
This I don't know if it's like officially a Sterling Marlin throwback, but that's kind of like that's what I thought of. I know he ran the 14 waste management for a minute. Him, I know Bill Lester ran it for a minute. I don't remember who else, but that's definitely where my mind went.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the more iconic ones. I remember there was a bunch of toy cars made for that one. Um, Definitely a really cool paint scheme.
No throwback for DJ. Race car, Jim, Miguel, Richard. We showed it on the show last week. His Junior Johnson Holly Farms paint scheme. And it sounds like he's going to be out for a couple weeks.
Yep, he's going to be out. I think he said in the chat after the race, he's going to be out about a month at least. He's got some stuff he's going to deal with. Not going to
Yeah,
blast him on the air, but
yeah. We'll
yeah,
leave that.
he's got. Yeah, we'll leave it up to him if it's something he wants to discuss with anybody else. But we're definitely thinking about him, hoping everything's going okay for him. But looking forward to when he is able to get back racing with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thinking about you, Richard, and like we said, we'll let you disclose what you want to disclose. But looking forward to having you back out on the track soon. All right, and then back to me leading. It's a good feeling, but what's not a good feeling is that white and red 24 hunting.
Every time he has to come through the field, I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And he always just shushes me. He's like, "Shh, don't say anything." And I'm like, "No, because I want to jinx you."
Yeah.
I'm trying my hardest to jinx you.
For
I
sure.
need to just start picking Dakota every week. Just eventually it'll work and I'll jinx him.
Yeah, the announcer's curse. But the super impressive out of him. I mean, not that we expect anything different, but to be able to come from the back, use tires less than half the field did. I know at the end of this run, I think he said this was his worst set of tires, and it was at like 62%. Mine were at 40 at the end of this cook. So
I wish that was my best set of tires.
yeah, my best set was 47. So
yeah, if that was my best, then I'd be happy.
yeah, so
That's his worst. So as close as we've gotten to Dakota, we still got a little ways to go, but at least we can battle him now.
yeah, for sure. All right, we're working at 30 here. We're about 15 from green flag stops, so let's jump ahead to lap 40 or so. And as you see, Dakota has jumped to the point, so we will.
Griffin right there with him. I think he was just a perpetual P2 sitter for the majority of the race.
Yeah, he was top 5 all night. Both me and him and our GLM Mustangs were very quick. Top 5 all night. Jared again, though. Jared and Steven both also top 5 cars. Ooh, Griffin, what a save.
I remember hearing Dakota say, "Oh, Griffin's wrecked," and I'm like, "Do I throw the caution?" He goes, "No, he saved it somehow."
Yeah, that is a dangerous spot to be turned like that. Like he's already getting ready to turn that way.
Looks like he might have gotten a little loose right before.
Yeah, they were battling tight on exit, and
Ooh, yep, it looks like they made a little bit of contact and then got loose and made more contact.
But hell of a save. And this is what I was talking about. Like, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like the top 5 here is still a group, even after Griffin near spin. Dakota's interneting, and then there's a little bit of a gap to like 6th on back as green flag cycle begins. Kyle Kendall there on fresh tires coming through. Let's get to oh, okay. So, I think I'm the first of the leaders to come sit in P4.
I
This
believe
is
so.
lap 46. So, to my point earlier, I'm 1.3 back from Dakota when I make my way to pit road. Trying to force hands here. I know Griffin comes this lap. I think Dakota runs it longer. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, Dakota stays. Jared and Griffin hit pit road.
Yeah, I believe Dakota's one of the last people to pit, aside from a couple of guys that went really long.
And I'm coming out of pit road. Miguel has pitted on like lap 20 on this because of his wall hits, so he's running long. Back to the leaders. Does Dakota come this time? Dakota does come this time. Steven stays out. Chris stays out. Kyle stays out. Yeah, there's you.
Yep, I believe I've already made my pit stop. I made it pretty early compared to everybody else. I actually ended up going one lap longer than I wanted to because I didn't feel like I'd be able to slow down the car enough and not get run over from behind. Didn't quite get up to you, but I think I came out of the cycle at least in the top 5 from what I remember. Maybe 6th or 7th, but
Steven hits pit road from the lead, giving the lead to the new guy, Kyle Jackson.
and he went really long. I think he didn't pit till lap 56.
I believe he pitted on the first caution on lap 8. Because he had some nose damage, I know that. So I think that's why he was able to go as long as he did. Holding
Yes,
up
I believe
Griffin.
so as well.
But he is the last one holding out here. He was fast.
Yeah, so minus the 2 that are still out. I believe I ended up jumping back up to 4th, about to get passed by Dakota, however. So I ended up coming out netting 5th, I believe.
Yeah, with Kyle and Miguel staying out here. Yeah, that would put you 5th. But we'll
So
jump.
definitely
Paid off.
was the what I needed to do there. Yep.
And Kyle hits pit road, and again he was fast, so he continues the trend of new guys being quick. And battle for the lead here between our GLM Mustangs. Boy, I didn't realize he got that far ahead of me. Because he doesn't complete the pass, but because he didn't have the outside, but I didn't realize he was damn near clear. But
Yeah, this track was weird for these cars because in every other, I've raced this car. I've raced a couple of the modern NASCAR cars, so like the trucks and I believe it may be Xfinity here, and this race is way different than obviously both of those, but um, definitely wasn't expecting multiple different lines to be able to work depending on age of the tire and various factors like that. But it was definitely a really interesting race when it came to which line was the preferred line.
yeah, And this little battle has brought Jared all the way back to our bumper. And if you listen very softly, listen close, you can hear the Jaws theme playing as the 24 works his way back into the picture. And Griffin points out that he doesn't throw sliders, and I appreciate that. Referencing not clearing himself across my nose.
I can't say anything. I definitely threw a slider at Griffin a couple times, so
Yeah,
I'll throw a slider.
yeah. Dakota threw one on me to take the lead and kind of just parked it in front of me. I tried to throw one back, and I wasn't comfortable parking it like he did, so I slid all the way to the wall and lost the spot. But here comes the 28 and the 24 working the bottom, and eventually that Casey Kane throwback's gonna work his way back to the point. And at that
Can't
point,
remember exactly what happened to Brandon to put him a couple laps down. I don't remember if he had damage,
yeah, he hit the
or if
wall
he
at
was,
some point um,
yeah.
in the dog leg and about lost it. I
He
think,
was running pretty good at the beginning of the race. Just another unfortunate thing
yeah,
that happened to put him behind.
yeah, for sure. I think much like my daddy, he tagged the wall on the exit of 4 and um, had to limp it around. Uh, that top to bottom move for Dakota, third to second, and not quite clear yet. But well, he was just able to wrap the bottom all night and not use the tires up, which was just impressive.
Yeah, I finally got an answer from him on, or not an answer, but we finally figured out a way that he can describe kind of how he's doing. At least we think that I think I understand what he's doing now, to where I can work on trying to replicate it, but we'll have to see on that. But it's one of those things that he's struggled to find the exact words for to describe, because it's more of a feel thing for him. But I think we stumbled upon a little way to describe it. But I'll have to do some testing to see if that's if what my interpretation of what he said is what it actually is. He's definitely a wizard on the tires.
Yeah, real life experience helps, I'm sure. Can't hurt, but all right, this is taking longer than I thought. I was gonna wait until he jumped me for the spot to start jumping ahead, but let's work towards the next set of green flag pit stops. There he goes. He did it.
As if anybody is surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
And the crowd goes mild.
Speaking of surprise, internet.
I
Um,
don't know, Georgia.
and
That Georgia internet's what's been keeping Ed out of the races. Thinks that something might have fallen on his internet line and cut it or something like that. So he's had some issues trying to get his internet back up, but he should be back with us as soon as he can get that figured out.
and here comes the next caution. Little meeting of the minds there. I don't know if Dakota's trying to come down and Ed just slides up on cold tires, but little contact,
Certainly looks like it.
and Ed's fighting for it, and it snaps on him right
Ooh,
into Griffin's path. Jim just avoids it. Griffin's
Griffin.
destroyed.
Ugh, that didn't help anything.
Nope. And no suspension, couldn't even limp it around. Had to
Yeah.
take a tow, and that cost him 2 laps.
If I remember going by him, because all I knew was that DJ spun. Then I went by to Griffin here coming up, I believe, and yep, there it is. And I was like, what happened to Griffin? Then Dakota was like, he was in that.
Yeah. And he's just got
I knew he was gonna lose a couple.
no input there.
At this point, he's just got to gas it up and hope he bounces off the wall and can get to his pit stall without having to tow. But I knew even with not even if he was able to get back, he's going to lose multiple laps, not just one. And this is the caution I did not need to see come out because when the caution came out, I was going to pit
Oh,
because I
yeah.
had only one more lap left of fuel, and so I had to pit under a closed pit right here because I was running out or I was already out of fuel, and so that caused me to lose a lap.
Yeah. I had just hit pit road. If we go to pit, if I can get to the pit cam, I guess I'll just. There we go.
Oof, just got down there. That's the lucky break for you right there.
I still ended up losing a lap, but I was able to wave, like I said, and
Yeah.
but
I tried to go long, and I went as long as I could, and then I was not expecting the caution. And then came out, ended up running out actually down the back stretch. So I'm kind of surprised I was able to roll it around and actually get to my pit stall, but
where is?
still lost the lap.
There he is. So
Yeah, Griffin's still not had a finish where he should be finishing.
yep, that is 4 finishes outside the top 10 to start the season, and he's had contending speed in all 4 races.
There are plenty of time left in the season, so with a little bit of with some consistent finishes and stuff, still definitely within the realm of possibility to point his way back into the playoffs. But if he gets a little bit more unlucky throughout the season, there's not much margin for error. He might start getting into that must-win territory, which I think we all know Griffin definitely has the skill, and it's an expectation for him at this point that he gets a win.
Well, and that's what makes his results so shocking to start the season. As we know, he won 3 races last season, 2 in the Holiday Dash. He's definitely got it. He's just got to manage to put a whole race together. Not have a wreck fall into his lap for the 5th, 6th week in a row.
Yeah, Griffin, was your first race with us last season, Sonoma?
Yes.
Yeah, then that's tough. I know that one wasn't the best one for you as well. I think you still got a top 5 finish in that race, but I think other than the top 3, minus second place finisher in that race, everybody was able to. Those 3 were the only 3 that made it through the race without any major incidents. Until James decided to use his bumper, and so that only made 2 cars without any major incidents.
I don't recall. I don't know. It's weird. I don't
I don't know.
any
Weird.
recollection. Let's jump to the final 15 or so, because we would go green here.
Me, it was actually a really interesting little battle going on around mid pack between me and Miguel mainly at the end, but there were a couple more cars that were in it, battling for that lucky dog spot, just trying and hoping for another caution that we could get back into it. But alas, no lucky dog. I will say we're gonna have to the last couple laps of the race if there's nothing else going on. We'll have to watch me and Miguel because we have a hell of a battle the last 2 or 3 laps for that 7th spot.
Yeah, I don't remember if Jared gets any closer.
I know that Griffin definitely gets closer.
Yes, yeah, he does. Um, little miscommunication there. Griffin didn't realize he was 2 laps down. He thought he was racing for the lucky dog. That's why he was in that front pack. He was seeing a little red after getting wrecked out again. Not
I'm
paying
sure.
attention to the relative too much.
Can't remember, was he 2 or 3 laps down there?
He was 2 down, and Richard showed up, or not Richard, Ed showed up as the first white car on his relative, so he knew he had to be ahead of him and didn't realize. He thought, for the long time, I didn't realize you were a lap down. I thought you had waved too or something, but.
No, I should have waved, but because I had to pit under a closed pit road,
Yeah,
since I ran out of fuel, um,
you can't wave under a
it
black
penalized
flag.
me and didn't
Yeah.
let me wave around. So I had to go back to the back, and then um, ended up losing the lap there. But just couldn't beat out. Just if I had a little bit more fuel, I could have beat out the pace car and stayed on the lead lap and taken my black flag. Just at the back of the pack, but still on the lead lap, but just missed out.
Moment from me back there, a little slippy slidey. Um, yeah, Dakota has jumped out to almost half a second lead here, and it doesn't
I don't
look
know
like
what
it's
it
getting
is about.
closer.
Yep. I don't know what it is about this league that we attract Jacksons and Kyles and Eds, but we have those three names we have in abundance.
Yeah, we got the Jackson and Jackson show for third here. No relation, but yeah, Griffin mentioned that during the race, and we had a lot of J's in the FNX series too. Between me, Jackson, there was another Jackson, Jared. I feel like there was another one too somewhere, but
Last season we had dang near half the field was named Jackson in some way, shape, or form.
yeah. I was just able to keep Kyle pinned down on the bottom and use it for the exit.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was the most painful thing seeing cars that had been battling all race on the lead lap and being a lap down and not being able to battle them.
Here's the battle you were talking about, you and Miguel. Oh,
Miguel's just now getting into the picture. I think Brody's, or not Brody,
Kyle Kendall there.
Kyle Kendall. He's a couple laps down. I think he's at least 1 lap down from where we are. Me and Miguel.
Caught it on the backstretch there. Stephen Parker had pulled off the service black flag for his meatball, costing him a top 10, top 5 finish.
Yeah, just a bad look for him there. I was not letting Miguel get to my outside.
That's the thing. Yeah, you just got to protect that right side. You're gonna have to make it work on the bottom if you want to get by.
Yeah, I think can't remember if we came across the line side by side or if we were in 3 and 4 side by side in the last lap. But we were battling like hell for these last couple laps.
As Dakota is now almost a full second ahead, coming to 3 to go. Jump to 2 to go here. just to keep it moving.
I mean, Dakota might have almost a 1 second lead on Jared here, but look at the Jared, no slouch here. Look at the gap from second to third.
Yep. I had eaten up my tires pretty good, and then I was just focused on keeping the 49 behind me. As you guys can tell, Dakota's not going to lose this lead as we take the white flag. Dakota goes on to win race number 3 of the season, so we'll show this battle for third between myself and Kyle, and then we'll jump back to you and Miguel to show that. Kyle sends it in here.
Yeah.
And
Like,
little door
trading
bang.
paints.
And he just can't get off the corner. Griffin has a moment. There's third and fourth. And we'll go back to the battle for sixth.
Six, actually.
Side by side. Miguel sends it in. Door bang. Same thing.
It's
Oh, what a save. What a save, Miguel.
It just clips the apron, or else that might have been side by side across the line as well.
Yeah, that was... What a save, Miguel. And for the third points race out of 4. Fourth race overall out of 5. Our winner is the 24. Yeah.
I will say Dakota has made the decision himself that if he does make Coda, which is not guaranteed that he's going to be able to make that race, but if he does, even though we are not going to do an EOL for that race, he's volunteered to take it. So everybody rejoice in that, I guess. Even though he took one for this race.
It's a little harder with no cautions and having to navigate the pack at a road course. Unpredictability and all that.
Well, some good news for you as well, but the RFK 60 car just won the Clash.
Hey, how about that, Ryan Preece? Yeah, so that was Atlanta. As Dakota does the most damage to his tires that he's done all night.
Yeah.
And car. Why couldn't
you have done that? Burning most.
Why couldn't you have done that on like lap 55? I don't know. As we switch,
could have started the race doing that. That would have been great.
That would have been neat. I would have enjoyed it. But anyway, that's another Dakota Nichols win. We're on to Coda, but not before we break down what we saw this week. More of that, unfortunately. As we switch to the points. I mean, when you win 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 races, even though Jared and Kyle have had great seasons, great starts to the season, it's 42 and 60, the second and third. I think so. And that's part of why Dakota's taken that EOL. He's almost 2 full races ahead of third place. And then it gets real tight, 3rd through 5th. 2 points separating those 3 guys. Which this is, I know there's been some controversy and some questioning about the new point system internally, but this is exactly what we were hoping for. At least I think so.
Knew. Yeah. Yep. I mean, we knew Dakota doing or we knew somebody, if they went on a win streak, kind of like Dakota's on, is going to jump up to one of these, especially if it happens early in the season. But as happened last year, Dakota's going to hit a hiccup at some point. He's going to go a couple weeks. Either he's going to miss a race like he might next week, or he's always going to be up there. But there's going to be a couple races where he's not going to quite get that finish that he or anybody else expects, and so it'll swing back the other way. We're still early in the season's 4 race sample size. We'll we'll see what happens after next week, especially if Dakota ends up missing that race. That'll really bring the points real close. I mean, it's starting to take shape a little bit. I think the only driver who's not in the top 10 that might uh, be running to the point where you deserve it is Griffin, as we discussed before. But um, after some pretty horrendous starts by myself and you, we're slowly creeping our way back up there. Chris Ellis still up there, Miguel Brody, Kyle Kendall, Jared, all the guys that have been up there for the majority of the season. Um, Seeing a little bit of what's to come with the rest of the season, but definitely still nobody's mathematically eliminated from these playoffs. And as we discussed before, we'll have that in-season tournament. And we'll see how much that'll mix things up. You'll definitely have a lot of drivers going into that tournament, as we'll probably discuss a little later. I mean,
Yeah,
you've only got 2 winners, so that's 16 drivers to 18 that are from 3 to 18 that are going to be in that tournament. So
yeah,
as of right now,
right. And with how Kyle and Brody and um, how they've been running, yourself, me, Griffin, the way we typically run, like there's movement to be had both in points and on that bracket before it becomes official. Um, yeah, the unfortunate thing on this, as I look at the points, is Jim dropping 4 points from his lap 4 incident and missing 41 laps. Dropping 4 places from 5th to 9th, though probably more in line with what we would expect. He definitely outperformed expectations to start this season. So, um, you know, maybe if he runs more than 4 laps before having to pit for damage, then it's a different story. But just an unfortunate weekend for Jim. Um,
yep,
but yeah, Stephen Parker, Devin, now at the bottom of the current. There's last couple cars in. They've run really well. Steven deserved a better finish than he got. Not sure what happened to Devin. Um, just kind of mid pack all night. It seemed like. Um, then we go to the playoff picture, and it's still just Dakota and Jared locked in. And with Dakota's third win, it definitely makes it so everyone who wins the race will lock in. The bracket challenge will
yeah.
be that 12
I'm
seed.
I need somebody else to start winning. I'm tired of updating Dakota's paint scheme every week.
Mm-hmm. That little win sticker, which Jared, I gotta send you.
Yeah,
I gotta send you the file so you can put that on your car too. But yeah, so as we're looking at it, Devin's the last guy in by 5 over Hunter, 6 over Griffin. Anything stand out to you, or more what we expected?
I mean, the thing that really stands out to me is that from third to the cut line is 35 points, and then from the cut line to 18th, it's 35 points. So
Yeah, the
like,
symmetry was
it's
interesting.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing is really set in stone. It's less than a race. Well, it's a couple races. If we get some good races from some people and some bad races from some others, it can swing either way. It's really shaping up to be an interesting battle, especially as we get toward the post All Star break and into the second portion of the season.
yeah, for sure. Lap leader update. Dakota led a lot of laps, and he's back to first.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a nice 1 week in the lead of that category.
I'm just happy to be on this sheet now, all the way from off it to third because of the 37 laps I led at Atlanta. So that felt
Yeah,
good. Being up front felt good for a little bit. Um,
good. I mean, I'm already close to my point or my lap lead total from last season, so
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm sitting better than I was last season, despite the rough start.
And then just to point out parity in lap leaders minus Dakota and yourself, Chase Greer hasn't run a race since Daytona, still sitting there in sixth. But we've had a lot of guys lead laps and a lot of guys get points because 10th on this list that has 13 laps led. I know we've got guys that will lead 3 laps in pit, like that kind of stuff. So lots of guys have led laps, lots of guys have gotten points, and
Mhm.
you take away your 107 laps led at Phoenix, Dakota led 50 something this, or probably 55 this week, since he was 1 point behind you or 1 lap behind you. So
Yeah.
a lot of parity. Top 5's more of the same. Dakota still 3 out of 4 races. So he either wins or finishes outside the top 5. So
Yeah.
we,
I'll take it.
keep that up.
Except for I'm going to need him to finish outside the top 10 a little bit more often.
Yeah, for sure. So there's top 5s, top 10s. We have 8. We have 5 drivers have 2 top 10s to round out that chart. Not too many to put on there. Dakota, only driver, go figure, with 4 top 10s. But there it speaks to Kyle and Jared's consistency, 3 top 10s to go with their 2 top 5s each. Miguel quietly, he rebounded Sunday because he had that earlier incident, rebounded to a top 10, so that was good. And then, as we mentioned, the bracket. Here's the updated projections. Some movement with Jim dropping from 5th to 9th in points. Me and you climbing, we're up to the 4th and 5th seeds. Until we get winners, there's not going to be a huge jumble until we get another winner that eliminates somebody. But
Yep, it'll be interesting. So yeah, I think we're definitely, at least this week, I think I predict we get a new winner. So that'll bump somebody out of this, and then I wouldn't be shocked if at Charlotte we get a new winner as well. I know
yeah,
Griffin's strong there, you're strong there, you're strong at road courses. Um, Definitely some opportunities for a new winner. Uh, or maybe we get a repeat winner and Dakota and Jared just lock everybody out.
maybe so. But that is it for stats and updates. So now we can talk a little Coda and round this show out. First road course of the season, minus the Clash. Headed to the 17 turn short course, the NASCAR short course at Coda. Did we land on a setup? Are we running the one that was originally posted, or are we running the altered
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, we're just gonna go back to the one that was originally posted. And then we'll the only change then, if you haven't practiced since like last week, the only change is that it is switched from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, and so that brought down the temperature pretty substantially, just with the sun not being out. And I know the ambient temperature I think went from 82 to now it's 77. Um, but that'll bring down the track temperature a little bit, make it a little bit easier to drive. I would suggest, if you haven't already, to at least put a couple laps in there, um, if not before the practice session, if you can get time to do so before Monday. Um, I would do that just because it is a tough track and just a tough combination of everything. Um, but it's definitely going to be a fun race. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I can see it being either a snooze fest, follow the leader, or wait till somebody wrecks and then you can steal a spot, or I can see some battling happening as well. We'll see what it ends up being. But yeah, but to wrap up the question, we're sticking with the Watkins Glen setup that we had originally, just with slightly different, cooler conditions on the track.
Yeah, and to follow your point, just a tough combination. It's a slippery track, high down or low downforce, high horsepower. So lots of wheel spin on some slow, tight corners. Um, lots of patience going to be required, and it'll be interesting to see if everyone can do that. Definitely get some laps in. Thank God iRacing updated the off track such situation for this track. Because if anyone's run it, years ago, if you looked at a curb wrong, it was an off track. And now you have
Mhm.
all of the runoff available to you except for in the S's. So it's a
Yep.
massive change, and it's a great change, and iRacing did the right thing in updating that. Um, without further ado, let's get into race picks. To not pick myself, and I'm not going to pick Griffin because he might not make the show either. I know he's got some stuff going on with work,
Mhm.
with it being a Monday race. Monday race, guys, because of the Super Bowl on Sunday. So that changes it for him. He may not make it. Otherwise, I probably would have thought about picking Griff. I want to take a flyer on Miguel because he's been fast in the last couple road course stuff
Mhm.
we've done. The fun race, mid season or off season at Mid Ohio, he was very fast. In the
Yep.
Clash, he was very fast. If he can put together 46 laps, he'll be tough to beat. He'll be right in there.
Yeah, I was originally going to pick Miguel, but outside of myself, because I think I have a decent shot. Um, Let me go back. I'm gonna look at what are the results from the clash?
It was Dakota, and then you, and
Yeah,
then me, and then Griffin.
yep. So see, this is a tough track. So it's hard to really say because this track is such a different track from Daytona. So um, man, you put me in a pickle. I was really gonna pick Miguel. I'll say. I mean, outside of Miguel, I'd say I just pick you. To be honest, I think you're undefeated in these races so far, points races at least. So I know it's a quite a different car, quite a different setup, different track, everything like that. So it's really hard to predict. But if I had to pick somebody, I pick you. And if I'm wrong, then that means that I jinxed you, and I'm fine with that too. So
Yeah, in the spirit of Jinxon, I will go ahead and pick Jackson Wade because that's worked out for me the last two times. Uh,
hey,
uh,
tell you what, you've already jinxed him.
no, I don't know. We haven't run a road course with a lot of these guys yet, so I don't know what anybody can
Mhm.
do. So I think I'm gonna stick with Miguel. I'm gonna take Miguel. Um, and then obviously I'm hoping to cross my name off of that bracket, put myself in the playoffs with a third points win at Coda, third road race win at in the points. And I will say, now that we have switched it back to the original setup, my initial test with your setup that you had put up when it was overhang or overcast, I was able to run a full second faster than my times in the Glen setup. So
Yeah,
I was quietly rooting
yeah,
for that setup.
yeah, me too. But I don't know. I was hoping for it, but Dakota and Griffin said that it was a little bit too hard on older tires. So, yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was running like a second and a half faster on that setup. But
Yeah, no, and
but I don't want to.
it was extremely sensitive. Um, because the sun come out and it would go up to 92, 95 degrees and it was just all over the place. So it was really good if the track temp stayed down, like really good. Like I said,
Yeah,
I was running low 143s, so I was really happy with it. And then everyone's like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "But
I was like, I had to stop myself. I was staying up way too late one of the nights practicing it because I was like, I can hit a 142. I know I can, but uh,
yeah,
but not the.
my optimal was a 143 flat, and I was like, "Let's go. Let's get it." But then the sun came
I
out
was
and ruined it.
secretly hoping for it.
So
I was hoping I could lobby for it because I'm like, oh, Griffin and Dakota are bad at this setup, and I'm actually good at it. Okay, we need to make sure to get the setup.
yeah, for sure. So, but yeah,
But
looking forward to, obviously I'm always looking forward to road course racing. So that, and then Charlotte, and then
yep,
hopefully we'll have a All Star format to announce next week before Charlotte. I think we're getting close.
yep. If we don't have it before next week, I think the latest we'll announce it during the show next week. Um,
Yeah,
I think we're pretty close on it. Just got to iron out the details, but we'll be um, announcing that as soon as we are aware of it ourselves what we're gonna do.
yeah, for sure. So, yeah, like you said, just ironing out some details, seeing what's even feasible versus pipe dream. So, but we're
Mhm.
close, and unless you've got anything else, I think we did a pretty good job covering Atlanta, previewing Dakota without Dakota's input. Let's see,
Yep.
wins again.
Yep. Another boring race for everybody. No, it was actually pretty eventful. I thought it was a good race, and um, I don't know, as far as that, thanks everybody for joining us again. Um, we'll be back next week. We'll see about whether or not we'll be back with Dakota again, or if it'll just be the two of us. But looking forward to Dakota. Good luck, everybody, in that race. I think we're all gonna need it. So, but
Dakota's
looking
tough,
forward
man.
to it. And let's see. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough
Dakota's.
track.
You know, this is gonna sound super conceited, and I almost don't want to say it, but the only one SVG didn't win last year was Coda. So if somebody jumps
Mhm.
up and takes it, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's a tough track.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I like I said, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility that all the usual suspects spin out and somebody brand new ends up winning it that nobody's predicted.
yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, good show, good race at Atlanta last week. Had fun. Aside from the end result with the 24 winning again, but you'll
Mhm.
have that when you let him run in the league.
Yeah,
So
gonna have to give him a. We'll have to give him a one lap penalty one of these days.
something. But yeah, so good times, good times. Looking forward to Dakota.
Yep. We'll see. Looking forward to Dakota maybe not making it. No, I'm kidding. But all right, looking forward to getting to it.
Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll catch you next week.
See ya.